Town of Orangetown Planning Board of March 11th now in session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Going to take one item out of order. Going to start with if anybody's here from the Linden subdivision. Yes, ma'am, please step up. Sign in for me, please. And state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Mara Linden, and my address is 23 Clinton Avenue in South Nyack.
Thank you. Okay, and this is a request for 2 90-day extensions. Okay, do I have a motion for 2 90-day extension?
Motion to approve request for 2 90-day extensions for subdivision of property for Linden at 23 Clinton Avenue, Nyack.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Do I have a second?
Andy.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? You have
Okay,
it.
you have it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, that was exhausting.
Well, it's either that or holds you to the end. I figured this is a quickie.
Have fun, everybody.
We can fight about it if you want to.
Okay, now we'll go back in line. Okay, next is the FedEx ground expansion, PB 26-08.
Your microphone.
Sorry. Okay. Good evening. While we're all signing in. Everybody signed in, and then.
Just if you could do it in order, your names for me.
Okay. We should. Oh, I thought we had to wait till we signed in.
Scott Milner, Suncap Property Group.
Steve Rabel, McCullough, Goldberger, and Stout.
Brian Harris, Suncap Property Group. John Romeo, McLaren, KCI Engineering.
Brandon Desiri, McLaren, KCI.
All right. Yes, sir.
So, this is for 9 Alfoxy Way, which is currently the home of a FedEx warehouse facility. To give a little bit of background before we get into the specifics of what's proposed, some of you on the board may recall that this project received approvals back in 2011 for 2 phases. So, phase 1 was completely built out, which included the warehouse facility that's on the property now, as well as some parking, stormwater mitigation measures. Phase 2 contemplated a warehouse expansion, some additional parking, as well as a traffic signal at the corner of Alfoxy and Route 303. So that traffic signal was installed, but the rest of Phase 2 was not completed. The approvals for Phase 2, as previously contemplated, have since expired. So FedEx is now coming back for what I'll call a revised Phase 2. It's not the building expansion that had previously been contemplated. It's really just updates to their current parking layout to add some additional spaces, improve circulation, that sort of thing. There's some associated stormwater mitigation with it. Now, the interesting piece of this is we determined that we need some DEC permitting because there is some work within 100 feet of the wetland. So from a timing perspective, Phase 2 has been broken up itself into 2 sub-phases. Phase 2A, which we're discussing tonight, and Phase 2B, which we had with PRC this morning, and which will be before you in 2 weeks. The entirety of the project has still been contemplated, and we want to make sure that you, the board, are reviewing the entirety of the project. But it's a little bit of a procedural nuance that I wanted to call out. The only other item I wanted to note is pursuant to your code, you're allowed to permit parking areas within a required setback. And there is a small portion along the side yard for some of the trailer parking that's 41 feet from the property line. So it's within that 50-foot setback. So we are requesting that permission from your board as part of our site plan application. So I'll turn it over now to John Romeo to walk you through the specifics of the plan.
Good evening, all. My name is John Romeo. I'm the signing engineer on this project set. As Steve mentioned, we had originally contemplated this project as a single phase, taking over Phase 2 from the original 2010-2011 project. and, with the changes that happened at the beginning of last year, the wetlands that were on site, which were previously classified as Army Corps Engineer wetlands, are now considered DEC wetlands. So we did get those flagged last year, and we are currently waiting, and we had a couple of late snowfall events this year. We're currently waiting for the DEC to walk the site with us to clarify those extents. In order for us to proceed with this project and not hold up any of our approvals and everything else like that, we elected to split this project into Phase 2A, which is all the work that is not within that 100-foot adjacent area, and 2B, which is the work that entails, areas that are close to the wetlands or within that wetland buffer. This project in and of itself that we're speaking of tonight, 2A, has no work that has any impact on the wetlands or is within that wetland buffer. We've been working with the town engineer, Bruce Peters, to ensure that the projects stand wholly alone, meaning that any of the improvements that are going in 2A are self-supporting for 2A, and they are not dependent on the items for 2B. And 2B is either dependent on the items that are for 2A or will develop their own stormwater improvements. That way, if there's delays that come with this, they're addressed later. We don't want to hold up this project with this for that. So building on this, the original 2010 project included impervious coverage on the site of 14.82 acres, and that had a number of items that we have reduced since. Just notably, the original approvals had 398 parking spaces. Our proposed project, or employee parking spaces, I should say, our proposed project has 215, which is a pretty big reduction with that. Overall, our whole project site has been designed currently to only have 11.56 acres. However, the original project included a building expansion, which we are not currently proposing. But since that was currently there, we don't want to give up the right to necessarily do that in the future. Although it is not currently planned right now, there is no plans for a building. We wanted to design the infrastructure similarly how it was in the 2010 plan to accommodate that impervious, should that building be reconsidered in the future. So even when we consider that, which would be another like 1.6 acres approximately, it puts our future impervious coverage at 13.14 acres, which is again significant reduction. It's a 1.6, 1.7 acre reduction from the previously approved 2010 plan. So we've, again, reduced even for things that are not being considered right now, but could be considered in the future. Regarding traffic, because I know that this is something that was done. This was studied in 2010. The 2010 study showed that there was an acceptable LOS for the full build out of that project. We've since reduced that. We've looked at the numbers and we've basically said that, look, we're reducing general peak traffic in general because we've reduced the development area, reduced the number of employee spaces and everything else like that. So we believe that there's a big reduction there. This has also been studied by some of the adjacent projects that I'm sure you guys have seen rather recently. Stormwater on site is handled right now primarily through an underground detention system, as well as just some on-site swales, catch basins, and a large pond. The proposed development includes several new stormwater improvements to meet the current regs. Things have come a long way since 2010. We are now using both infiltration and filtration bioretention in 3 separate practices, a mix between 2A and 2B. And those practices will eventually discharge to either the floodway or to the on-site existing stormwater pond. In and of itself, because we have proposed a reduction in impervious, and because we have proposed an excess of stormwater management on the site, we have a reduction in not only the existing development of like what our discharge is, but a significant reduction from what the 2010 improvements allowed for as far as discharge from the site. One thing to note is that, we did get some comments from Bruce Peters, which we are working through on this, making sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. We did get a letter, which I unfortunately neglected to print unless you have it. Perfect. So we have a letter from the neighbor. Is that the one you have, Audrey?
That's from the DOT, right?
No, I was going to say, we have a letter from the neighbor. So we had having a discussion with Bruce Peters regarding one of our proposed stormwater practices along our northern border. It's, if you go back up, that one right at the top of the page, that has a discharge to the floodway between the properties. That is entirely, everything, including the discharges on our property, but, you know, in the spirit of cooperation with our neighbor, we wanted to make sure that, you know, because we have this practice discharging to the area between the properties, and we're obviously landlocked with where we are, that the neighbor was okay with this. We have a letter acknowledging that, you know, we've explained this to them, they're very okay with this, and this shows that the 100-year event is going to flow on our property. To note, the area between is a floodway. The neighbor actually has improvements on this current property. We are not looking to pursue any like adverse impacts from that. We just wanted to address this up front with them to make sure that there was no problems with this. On the technical side, just because I'm an engineer and like to dig into this, that discharge will have zero flow during the 1-year event. During the 10-year event, it will be 0.06 CFS, that's cubic feet per second, so very small. And during that 100-year event, which is something that we expect to happen once every 100 years, a 1% storm chance, that is a 0.72 CFS. All of those numbers are less than that site discharge, than the site generally discharges to that portion of the property. It's just now we're obviously slightly concentrating it into a pipe versus overall sheet flow, but we've expressed that to the neighbor, shown that, you know, during that 1-year event, which is the most common, there's gonna be no flow. Everything is being, you know, filtered through our on-site area. We're trying to reduce everything beyond what was there before. Had some minor comments from, you know, various boards and everybody who's reviewed this. We are working through that. We do not have a comment response letter yet to share with you. Some of those comments just came in this week, but we will obviously provide that. Some of those items, just from a high level, included lighting revisions, which we are looking to make. Again, some SWIP revisions, and just some clarifications on the site, how we're interacting between phase 2A and 2B. Tonight, everything you see that's in red is in phase 2B. That is not what we're discussing tonight, but we wanted to show this on an overall plan so everybody can see the interactions. We're trying to show this together, but knowing that, like, you know, you take off the red, everything that's in black is what we're actually proposing. And if you scroll down on the site, you'll see there's another basin below that's actually improved. This is where most of our parking improvements are being shown right now. And that is self-supporting in this entire system. So that's most of what we have to go through. We can certainly answer any specific questions you have. I hope I've answered some you may have already had, but we're here to answer anything you do.
Okay, let me go through the consultants' reports.
Sure.
Okay, Project View has no comment. Office of Building and Zoning and Planning, Rick Oliver, I'm sorry, February 18th, he has a total of 10. Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, February 24th, we have 1 comment. I have a letter from Paul DeGance, January 2nd, he has 3 comments. I have a letter from Collier Engineering dated March 4th, which he has, the above comments represent our professional opinion and judgment, but may not necessarily, in all cases, reflect the opinion of the planning board. Due to the comments and concerns listed above, additional clarification and information is necessary before we can recommend the FedEx ground expansion site plan phase 2B be approved for drainage. And he has 9 comments. Letter from Rockland County Planning dated February 27th. 18 comments. Letter from Rockland County Sewer District Number 1 dated February 25th. They have 2 comments. I have a letter from Rockland County Drainage Agency dated December 31st, 2025. They have 2 comments. I have a letter from Rockland County Environmental Health dated March 9th. They have 1 comment. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, February 12th. Based on the drawing provided, there may be gas conflict with proposed work. Please contact O&R's new business. I have a letter from Rockland County Planning Board dated February 5th. Comments attached. I have a letter from Rockland County Planning Board, again February 5th. It said Town of Orangetown Planning Board Service Lead Agent. I have a letter dated February 10th, New York State DOT. Town of Orangetown Planning Board Service
agent. I have a letter from McLaren, ACI, dated January 22nd, which is basically a narrative of the job. Another letter from Buchan, Greenberg, dated November 20th, 2025, again, describing the project. Short EAF, dated November 19th, 2025. A bunch of letters not read in from the previous appointment because you guys postponed it. A letter from Rick Oliver, January 12th, has 2 comments. A letter from the Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Town of Orangetown, January 27th, 2026, which he has 22 comments. Letter from Bureau of Fire Prevention, January 3rd, 1 comment. I have a letter from Collier Engineering, dated January 14th. Basically the same letter as before. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Planning, January 22nd. And 18 comments. Letter from Rockland County Drainage Agency, dated December 31st, 2025, with 2 comments. Letter from Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, dated January 12th, 2 comments. Letter from Alfred Gaddy, December 27th. Letter from David Brocher, New York DOT, to the project. Another letter from Susan Lucero, dated March 15th, 2024. Letter from Susan. Letter, but same name. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. That first one was from Maria Lucero. The letter, it's not dated, from Susan Lucero. Another letter from Rockland County Planning Board, dated December 19th, 2025, concerning Town of Orangetown Planning Board Service Lead Agent. Another letter from Rockland County Planning, December 19th, comments attached. Letter from New York State DOT, January 21st, comments attached. Was there anything else?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Questions or comments?
Yeah, why are you reducing the amount of parking places? And will that have anything to do with, Plan 2B? Or Phase 2?
So why are we reducing the amount of parking spaces from the previously approved plan?
Yeah,
It's not needed. The facility said it was not needed. We don't need that. Obviously, we needed to come back for the board because the original approval expired. And when you mean, what does that have on 2B? 2B, everything is contemplated that we're proposing right now. We were planning on just redoing phase 2 as one thing. We've only split that 2A, 2B due to the wetlands.
I'm just wondering if you come back for 2B and you find that you need more parking places.
We have 2B pending right now.
Okay,
We've only split that up
Weeks.
just due to
Right.
the wetland area because it might lag a couple weeks to a couple months.
okay,
Scheduled for the next planning board.
okay.
Yep.
So the variance for parking is 41 foot instead of 50 foot. Now, is that parking spaces that you're taking away, or is that just parking spaces for the trailers? And that's gonna go away?
So those are parking spaces for the trailers that we are proposing right there. the variance was an option, I don't, Steve. I don't-
But the trailers are for what? For the construction, or?
No, these are permanent trailers,
Oh, permanent trailer, okay.
like,
Alright.
Permanent parking
permanent
for
parking
trailers.
for trailers, yes, not
Okay.
actual trailer, like
Okay.
a tractor
Understood.
trailer, like
Okay.
they're gonna dump the
No,
trailer.
no problem.
Yes.
Good. All right. That's all I have then.
Okay, Lisa, anything?
So, a few things. So you're not approved for drainage yet. And have you done, the perk test, I know with the snow,
So we have performed some, in speaking with the town, we need to perform more.
Okay.
So we will be doing that, with Bruce Peters' office, once the snow melts and we're able to coordinate that window that fits within his timeframe.
okay, so that's gonna happen, okay. I don't have any other questions right now.
Okay, thank you. Mike, anything?
Yeah, she was referring to the Collier's report.
Oh, yeah.
They're the drainage consultant.
Yes,
They didn't give you approval.
no, not yet.
Okay. In the meantime, the SEAF has to be corrected, number 2 and number 20. Okay, 2 is planning board, number 20 is yes now, affirmative,
Yes.
according to Rockland County. 11, have you applied for the Rockland County Drainage Agency Steam Control Act
We
permit?
have, and that is pending.
Okay, good, so that's on the move, at least with that. Okay. And Rockland County Planning, number 3, this is only for the record, they're asking if there's going to be any additional traffic as a result of the project, and you stated, if anything, there's less traffic now.
Less during the peak hours, because we have a reduction in the total number of spaces from what was originally contemplated.
Okay, now you're, in regards to your original traffic study, is there any increase in vehicle traffic?
From the original study, no.
Right, okay, that's the,
Yeah, we have a reduction from what the 2010 study said during the peak hour.
okay, but, okay, that's what it'll cover, just the peak hours?
Usually we study the peak hours, because that's where.
Yeah, I haven't seen, I don't remember it from when it was approved originally. I'm just saying, did it cover the 24-hour frame, or did it just cover the peak traffic time?
I will have to look into that and get back to you, whether it covered the full 24 hours. Normally, we evaluate
The peak, yeah, peak traffic time.
Scott, do you wanna weigh in? So, okay, we do have a traffic consultant here who can comment on that. So it covered the full 24 hours?
Well, the 2010 study covered, like. Could you do me a favor?
Sorry.
State your name and just so for the stenographer has it, so we have a record of it.
Alfred Young, VHB.
And do me also, because we can't hear you too good, step up to the microphone.
Thank you, Alfred.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys. We didn't want to crowd the table.
Right there, microphone right behind
There
you.
you go, there you go.
So the 2010 study has the volumes projected, not exactly 24 hours, but I want to say somewhere along the lines like 6 in the morning until like late, close to midnight. So there is a comparison, and in terms of like total volumes between 2010 study and what's currently projected, there is a reduction from the 2010 study. Not just the peak hours, but like overall as well.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That's that. Okay, that's the only, oh,
Anything else, Mike?
no, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Denise?
I don't have any comments.
Matt?
Just a couple. I guess I'm a little confused, like big picture wise. You're not wanting to expand the building, you're changing the parking configuration, the employee parking is going down, expanding trailer parking. Seems like the amount, like, if you're not expanding the building, you're not looking to use the facility more, what broke? Like, what caused you to want to have to make this change? Seems like you're lowering operations, why do you need to make this change?
So I think it's actually not what broke, but what was FedEx able to accomplish so well, right? So they were able to make more efficient use of the current facility than they had originally anticipated, which in some instance mandated some additional bodies on the property.
Gotcha. And in addition to that, like, there's circulation improvements that are being made with this. It's kind of you live and learn a little bit, like, this is what they've done so well. They didn't need that extra building space, which is why that's not being considered right now. The trailer spaces are there because they realize that they need more of that versus just the employees. They've been able to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as far as, like, I've been in the area quite a few times, existing conditions, not necessarily to contemplate future growth, it's what we already have on site.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Matt, anything?
You did a great job explaining it, so.
Thank you.
So basically, the 2B connects a wetland, so you're just doing what has nothing to do with the wetland now.
That's correct.
Easier, cleaner, and then you'll just graft the second one on one C.
If you see that dashed line
Yeah.
that goes around, that is that 100-foot adjacent area. So you'll see like where it bisects, everything is like where we're showing that
Right.
there's items that are
So
within that
you're
partially.
doing, this is the easy part, and
Mhm.
then you're saving the hard part.
That's it. We didn't want to do this in two parts. It's just what the project necessitates right now.
And when you mentioned circulation, what specifically
Site,
is improved?
just site circulation, where trailers are being stored now, where vehicles are being stored, obviously, like you mentioned on the grass, giving them dedicated parking spaces that are not like that. Items like that, you can see and I can point at the screen, but there's that like half moon in red, like towards the right side of the screen, things like that.
Right
That
here?
is, yes, right there. That is currently grass and it's going to pavement, things like that, turning movements for trailers.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else on the board have any additional comments? No? We have a little bit of a problem because you don't have drainage.
Mhm.
So, we can't go any further than that. You have our comments and the consultant's comments. Have quite a bit of work ahead of you. Your next move is to ask for a continuation,
Yes.
if you want. Either that or it's get denied. I think you want to ask for a continuation.
Yes. I figured I'd hand that over to Steve for that.
Yes.
That's what we had intended.
Okay.
Never requested.
Okay, we will request a continuation, please and thank you.
Thank you very much. As soon as you get your stuff done, get a hold of the building department and we'll get you on the next available place.
Okay.
All right? Very good.
All right.
Excellent. So,
The
good luck
most
with this
important
project.
thing is to talk to Colliers
Yes.
and get that straightened out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once you get their approval, you can still work with Bruce as you're going along. But this is the main thing that you have to get over. Once that's in there, then we can give you preliminary, otherwise we can't without that.
Understood.
All right,
Yep.
thank you very much. Thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Again, have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, next project is Los Amigos Market Site Plan PB 26-14. Was anybody here from Orford, Bess?
They're postponed.
Huh?
They're postponed.
I know, I was just gonna mention it, which I forgot to do at the beginning of the meeting. Hello, Mr. Brenner.
How we doing?
Excellent.
I do apologize, I have no tie because I hurt my thumb. It's very hard to put a tie on when your thumb's not
Oh,
working.
no, you have to go, otherwise.
In the old days, you used to have clip-on ties, but times have changed.
You know, it's not right. It really is.
Well, we could debate that. Sign.
Yes, sir, what can I do you for? Oh, before we do that, have the gentleman, the stenographer, who is that, name, I'm sorry.
Luis Fernandez from Eric Osborne Architects.
Bruce Fernandez?
Luis?
Louis Fernandez.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, this is an existing gas station that's been there for many, many years. They go back and forth whether they're gonna have a food place inside, whether they're not gonna have a food place inside. The facility was sold, and the present owner, which we're representing today, wants to have a place where you can pick up sandwiches primarily. That's what he's doing.
Pick up and eat there or take out?
Well, based on comments that we got from the building department and trying to avoid a non-use variance type situation, we had to lay out tables where people will be able to sit and eat. And even though you don't have those drawings, we can show you the layout of the tables.
Let me go through the consultant reports. Project review has no additional comment. Building and Zoning Planning, Rick Oliver, February 24th. He has 6 comments. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Town of Orangetown, March 10th, they have 1 comment.
Isn't that shocking?
Excuse me?
He only has one comment.
Unusual.
That's why I said, isn't that shocking?
Oh, I know. Well, wait till you get to, Rockland Planning.
Well, we'll talk
I
about
know.
that.
Bureau of Fire Prevention, February 24th, 1 comment. Rockland County Department of Planning, February 24th. Oh, that's not bad, we only have 7 comments.
Okay, on that one, we are going to ask for an override, I believe, on 1 and 2, because it's not that situation. We don't have what they put down there. Council says it's all right, because we're not doing it, but I think just to be cautious, we should get an override.
Does the town attorney have any problems with it?
Mr.
Number
Brown
one?
says, in an abundance of caution, overriding even if you don't need to.
So we'll do 1 at a time. Can I have a motion to override number 1?
Yeah,
Right, and hear from the public.
Okay, all right, okay. See, you're getting me all screwed up, Mr. Brown.
I'm sorry, I apologize. It's my thumb, that's what's bothering
Okay,
me.
that's good. So 1 at a time. Rockland County Sewer District number 1 has 2 comments. David, February 25th has 2 comments. Rockland County Environmental Health, March 10th has 1 comment. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, February 12th. Based on the provided drawings, it seems that the work is only interior facility renovation and no exterior gas. Okay. I have a letter from Rockland County Planning Department, February 13th, saying Town of Orangetown Planning Board Service Lead Agent. Letter from Rockland County Planning Department, February 13th, comments attached. Oh.
No, that was something else, yeah.
Wonder anything else?
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before you take comments, we just would like to show the board where the tables are going and that we have more than adequate parking spaces, so.
She's the second perfect. So, this is basically,
Don't touch the screen.
let me put it that way.
Can you point on?
You can point to it on that, it's the same,
Oh, it's the same drum, you got it here, okay. So, this is what I'm showing you here, is the distribution of the furniture of the space. The back in the part in the back is the table setting, you correspond. That area here. This is your kitchen, and this is the table setting, this is the table, and this is done for the gas station itself. It's gonna be. You wanna see it? In this position,
different way, yeah.
so you can see the kitchen, tables in this area. This happens, there is a cooler for drinks and things like that, you go from the back. Area.
Okay, you can leave the drawing if the board
Yes,
wants to see it.
and-
Okay, and you could also inform the board that we have more than
Oh, yes,
adequate
yes,
parking
yes, sir, yes.
spaces, yeah.
Of course. This is the other, so over here we have the survey. And the
What
side.
page is that? 'Cause they can put it up on the map.
Oh, no, you don't have this page.
Oh, you don't have that page?
No, yes, you do, sorry, you do. It's the T2, that would be the survey and the site plan. Gotta go the other way. No, you don't have it.
Okay.
No reason you don't have it. It was issued at the time, the first time, but anyway, you can see it here. So, this is the survey of the existing local. we're providing, doing the work, we're doing 54. We have plenty for the mechanics to have some space to store the cars that are for the next day or whatever they're gonna do. That's basically, that's our plan. Few parking with a handicap here, parking around, and another parking right in those, that's the store for the handicap. Simple, nothing. Right?
Good. Now we're ready for the torture.
Any questions or comments?
So, are you gonna use part of the existing building to make this store? Or is this all gonna be new?
Everything is existing.
Everything is.
Everything
So
is
this
existing?
This is actually here, that's the attendant for the gas station here, and all this is a retail, like a deli.
Okay,
So they have all kind of condos and things like that over here. Actually, over here is that cooler, that's existing there. And these two were approved in our area thing before we put the kitchen. The kitchen is like an afterthought,
okay.
right? But everything is standing. We're not touching the outside, we're not doing anything to the building.
So, Rick, is there a minimum or maximum amount of tables that they're allowed?
You know, if I can just address this, we talked about this quite a bit, we went back and forth, and Mr. Brenner and I sat down, we came up with, you know, between 6 and 8 tables and chairs would suffice to serve the need as not becoming a fast food restaurant. Also, looking at the equipment he's got there, it's not really set up for fast food, so we felt fine with how he presented it.
And 54 parking spaces.
Yes.
If you're gonna only have 6 or 7 tables, why do you need all that parking?
Okay,
That's the regulations of the town. They require certain number of parking per square footage depending upon the use.
there is an extra abundance here because the applicant may come back in the future and build another bay. So he has that for the bay and for this, for everything. So while he was gonna do it, the object, he was gonna put all the parking in, which he has. And we've been before the board years ago when we had a problem with the gas station across the street and he wanted to park trucks overnight, and he's got more than adequate parking.
I have no further questions.
Lisa? Mike?
Is this gonna be conditional and not a use variance, in other words?
That's correct.
Okay, it's conditional, okay. All right, that's, it wasn't that clear at project review as to which one it was.
What does conditional mean? Sorry.
With the planning board approval.
Do you have the right and power to give us a conditional use to do that?
Okay, as opposed to, what was the alternative you said, Mike?
Or a use.
A use variance.
That we have to go to the zoning board and
Okay,
This way they can bypass the zoning.
okay, sorry. I think the improvements made so far on the outside look really nice.
No, I agree, I mean, I think it's been used this way for a long time, it's not a big change of use, I don't see a lot of traffic issues, like.
Other than that,
No, that's good. Interior looks very, it looks like you'll handle that very easily.
no comment.
okay, so, do we have a motion on this?
We'll see if anybody in the public.
A motion to open the public session?
These made it, I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, none? Anybody from the public who speak on this? You know, you're the only one there, you should speak on it.
I'm in favor of it.
Very good.
And I don't even know.
Motion to close the public session?
Motion to close public session.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay.
Now, will you speak on this, on the interior?
Okay. Motion for lead agent?
Motion for lead agency.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Motion for neg deck?
Motion for neg deck?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay, motion,
Final with conditions?
you wanna do final with conditions?
We still, what are we
Because
still?
we still have two comments we gotta take off,
Oh.
but let's get to the motion first.
Do we have all the maps from them, or,
We do not have the new plans that you presented.
oh, we do not have the new
No, I
plans,
have to
so.
bring it to you.
We have to show it to him, but you can make that subject to us giving it.
You wanna do that? Make that a condition, that they have to, supply the maps,
The
corrected
seating,
maps?
corrected seating maps and traffic, parking maps.
parking maps?
Yeah.
You make that a condition? All right? Okay, are you making a motion?
Motion,
I'll make a motion, yeah.
Okay. Let me go through the consultant's report. Well, the first one will be that they have to supply, was it a C2 map on parking?
they have to provide a parking, site
park-
plan showing
operations.
parking,
Right. Yeah.
and a site plan showing the interior with the tables.
Okay?
That would be a condition.
That'll be as a condition, yeah. Okay, Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Rick Oliver, February 24th has 6. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, March 10th has 1. Bureau of Fire Prevention, January 24th is 1. Rockland County Department of Planning, February 24th is 7. We're going to, we'll have a motion to override number 1.
Make a motion to override number 1,
You have to have the rationale for
On
it.
the county letter,
because it's not considered a fast food restaurant,
right.
if there's tables, right?
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? None. Okay, motion to override number 2.
Did he, Audrey, did you get the wording for it?
Motion to override number 1 because it's not fast food.
Right,
Because it has tables.
it has tables.
Right?
And then Lisa motioned it second by Mandel.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
that was number 1. Number
Motion to
2,
override number 2?
Motion to override number 2.
Oh, should we take that out? Oh.
Yeah, I would suggest it's more complicated. McDonald's is fast food and has tables. It's not fast food because it has tables. I would say it's been determined that it's not a fast food restaurant by the building inspector. Or, it's, so there's a number of reasons.
So,
It is not a fast food restaurant.
No French fries.
that's fine.
you made the motion?
Yeah.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay. A motion to override number 2.
That was 2.
That was
No.
2. I thought that
That
was,
was
okay.
2.
So that was 1.
No, that was 2.
That was 1, they were,
That was 1.
they
Well,
said,
you reworded
they
1?
reworded.
It was
what I
one,
said.
but the justification's the same for both, because
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing.
All right, so motion to override number 2, same rationale as reason number
Same
1.
rationality.
So Mandel made the motion, second is
Andy.
Andy.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay. And Rockland County Department of Planning now has 5 comments of February 24th.
Correct.
Okay, Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, February 25th, has 2. Rockland County Environmental Health, March 10th, has 1. And I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Good luck, gentlemen.
I'm glad you appreciated my thumb trouble.
No.
You know,
we
it's
haven't.
not, calling the office, you never find out.
Oh, no, yeah, of course. I had to bring you the plans anyway. It was much more elaborated before, but everything got reduced and reduced, so. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you want to keep these drawings with you, or?
No, that's okay. We got it.
So I'll
Stay around, stay with you.
How many
Over here, we got a motion to adjourn.
how many sets do I have to bring you?
NSA sets of new plans to the applicant.
Do you guys want to review it? No?
No, we'll approve it. As long as you guys approve it, we've got no problem.
Five? All right, beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Ones, and you just say every month?
Oh, that's the one. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. State your name and address for the record, sir.
Hi, my name is Doug Warden. I'm a partner in the Tarrytown Law Firm of Snyder & Snyder at 94 White Plains Road in Tarrytown.
Excellent. What can I do you for?
Well, I'm here tonight on behalf of Verizon Wireless in connection with their efforts to locate a wireless telecommunications facility in the town at 150 West Erie Street. And I'm covering this meeting for my partner. And my understanding is that this meeting is in the nature of a consultation pre-submission application. And so I was hoping that maybe a good way to proceed would be for me to give a very brief overview of what's being proposed, and then just talk and hear your concerns and your questions, so we can create a matrix of those and hopefully incorporate them into the application as appropriate.
Before you start, let me, I
Yes.
just said, was the public informed on this?
It was published, but it was not, neighbor notified or posted because it's only a consultation.
Because usually even in a consultation, we will have some input.
Which
is okay.
Yeah, my understanding is that the
Okay,
standard.
not a problem, not a problem. Because I was, it's nice to get all the public's comments and everything else
Yeah.
as we go along.
Yeah, like the earlier we get public input, the better, so that, why be, have something come up at the 11th hour? Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're proposing a 125-foot monopole, 150 West Erie Street. It'll have a four-sector, in other words, square rack on the top, and there'll be a total of 11 antennas there. They'll be distributed as 3 in one sector, 3 in another, 3 in a third, and then just 2 in the second. And there will be 2 different kinds of antennas. There will be 8 JMA antennas, 72 inches tall, and 3 Samsung antennas, which are 28 inches tall. The application also involves the location of an equipment compound at the base of the facility for the equipment to go in. That's 1,440 square feet. And I just want to point out that both the equipment compound and the pole itself have been designed for the possibility of potential future co-locating carriers in the event another carrier says, hey, we have a significant gap in service in the vicinity of that site. We can go there. Some municipalities like that because it reduces the proliferation of unnecessary additional towers. So both.
I was going to ask you if you made any arrangements for any of the emergency services to get onto the tower.
I don't think we have emergency services yet. We always accommodate those kinds of, that kind of outreach. There is another antenna on the top, which I was wondering if it was an emergency service. That's a lightning rod. But there is room for 2 additional carriers. They usually space at a center line height about 10 feet in between each carrier. So our antennas are going to be at a center line height of about 120, 121, depending on as we discussed, the 2 different size antennas. And then so below, the next one will be 10 feet below that, and the next one below that. And again, we have an equipment compound at the base, which is surrounded by a chain link fence, 6 feet, 1 foot of barbed wire just for security purposes, because this is vital infrastructure. And our equipment, our portion of that equipment compound will be about 12 by 18, and there'll be 3 equipment cabinets, 2 equipment cabinets, 1 battery cabinet, and those will be under a canopy. The canopy will be 12 by 16. And then in addition to that, there is a generator that is in a sound attenuating enclosure. And that's the broad, that's the broad overview. Those are the broad strokes of this application. And I'd love to answer any questions that you have, or more likely take note of them, so that we can respond appropriately and incorporate them.
In respect to the battery compartment cabinet, do you have fire suppression on that?
I did see there was one of the comments that we had received.
I haven't read,
Yeah.
so I was just writing down off the top of my head.
The answer is we have requested all the specs on the battery, and we will report back on that front. I do want to point out that this battery is not Like, we're not talking megawatts. We're talking kilowatts, you know, so everybody is, you know, I also do a lot of work with battery energy storage systems. And everybody has there were these fires in Warwick that are very much in the forefront of everybody's minds. Those are things that are orders of magnitude bigger. Those are all 5 megawatts. I believe we're talking kilowatts here and not that many. But I'm gonna note that as question number 1, fire suppression for the batteries.
It'll also help to know what kind of battery.
Yep.
We talk about lithium ion.
Yeah, let me go through the comment. If you have any questions while we're going through this, please.
Yep.
Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Rick Oliver, February 25th. He has 4 comments. Total of 10 comments. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, March 10th. He has 8 comments. Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, February 24th. They have 5 comments. Again, he's questioning the
Yep,
types of
I saw that.
batteries
Yeah.
and the fire suppression.
Yeah. Those prior 2 comments, I don't know if we have those. Forgive me if they were sent.
Anything you want. I'll give you, when we're done with it, I'll give you the whole package. So you
Fantastic, thank you. That'd be great. Thank you.
And I think that is it. Oh, no, I got a letter from Law Office of Snyder and Snyder.
That's us.
It's January 30th, 2026. I have another letter from Snyder and Snyder, February 30th. And that's it. Anything else, Audrey?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Hey, Andy, questions or comments?
So you say you're gonna make provisions to be able to increase the amount of antennas going up there?
Yeah.
Do you know how many more it would be, or?
Well, what we presently have shown on the site plans are 2 additional carriers. You know, as a practical matter, what happens is you get lower and lower, it's a line of sight technology, and it loses its utility to future co-locating carriers.
Now,
There's
also,
and if, I just want to make sure I'm giving a good answer here. You know, and there's also a very finite number of carriers here, and not all carriers have needs in the same places, because their signals propagate differently. I'm sorry, that's a long way around the block for a short answer, sorry.
you're gonna give us like a map of the vicinity that it's gonna be able to cover the antenna?
We can do. I think is that in the code? I think it might be in the, yeah.
No, I'm not sure if it is, but we've had other people who've given us that.
Yeah.
Just so we could see how much it's gonna cover.
So you want to see where the significant
Well,
gap
it'd be
is
good
and
for the
all that.
public too, if they show up.
Yeah, okay.
Might be a plus.
Yeah.
The other thing is what I'm afraid of is if the public comes, they're probably going to ask about health concerns. You know, like, people don't wanna move next to a power line or anything like that. So is there, you know, like any microwaves or anything, that, you know, you might be prepared to answer those type of questions.
Yeah, I think we will be prepared to
Okay.
answer those questions.
All right.
You know, I'm sure, I know this is a sophisticated board. You've had these before. It's technically federally preempted, but it's also just good policy to just talk about them
Right.
when people bring these concerns up. So we'll be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I can just
One
comment.
other question is,
Mr. Andrews, I believe that there's court cases that say we're not allowed to deny for health reasons. As a matter of law, it's a statute, whether it's true or not, that we're not allowed to consider those. And I'm sure you'll bring those up, bring that fact up.
well,
But,
I'm just saying that it would be good to, you know, be prepared for when the public asks those questions, you know? That's it, you
Since
know.
we put the first tower in Orangetown, we've asked that question, we were told point blank, federal government says, can't ask it.
Right. Well,
Which
I know
tends to
we
make the
can't.
public angry, but that is what the law
I know
is.
we can't answer it, but I'm just saying that the public's gonna answer it,
Ask it,
or
yeah.
ask it. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
And obviously, from your standpoint, if you have some type of answer that's better, then we don't have to tell you, and we're not gonna tell you.
And then they'll get all over us because we okayed it.
Yeah, so we'll be prepared for that. Thank you.
So just one other question. What what kind of battery is it gonna be? Is it gonna be a lithium-ion battery?
Right.
You know, something that you can't put out with a regular fire truck or anything like that, you know? Just my own concern, that's all.
Sure. Okay.
All right, and I don't have anything else.
Yeah, the adjoiner's plan, what is that? On page 2.
Is that for the notice list, perhaps?
Oh, that's the notice? That's who gets, notified? Oh, I was wondering what, that's who you have to notify?
Yes, yes. I wish I could say that was a list of everybody who strongly supports the application, but it's really just, that's the radius around the property.
So this isn't the area, the only area that the cell tower is gonna cover?
Right, right. We were talking earlier about a, you know, like a coverage map that would give a better sense for, you know, what'll be covered and where the gap is.
Coverage map, and, what I'd like to see is some kind of, image, like a sightline, plan where what can, so on the next Columbus property, where is it actually going? On the building, or is it?
Well, if you look, I can stand up if that's helpful and just point without touching the screen to this, this area. That's the base of the tower. So going up this way. This is our equipment, and this is the full equipment compound, which has room for, you can see, 1, 2 additional potential co-locating barriers. That makes sense. It's like a top view of it. You can imagine that then as the tower.
What is the one all the way down on the end to the right, lower right? That's diameter, yeah, that.
It's where the existing garbage, I think, that's it, I remember the other drawing. That's there already, yeah. Well, where's the next I'm lost, I'm sorry, where's the next Columbus building itself?
Just down here, I
Oh.
believe, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you go, okay. So, I mean, I'd like to see what it looks like from the residential properties, like how,
So, to that point, that's actually one of the things we were very much hoping to start a dialogue with the board about tonight is like, you know, balloon tests and things like that and renderings. And what we'd like to start a dialogue on tonight, if the board thinks it's appropriate, is, you know, viewpoints. Where would you like some pictures from? If you want to think about it, that's fine, but and what are good dates to do a float? So we can get that started. And the reason why we're so eager to get that started is because this is obviously a thing that is better done in leaf-off conditions, right? Because you're gonna get a true, sense for what the full exposure of the thing is, rather than, you know, if you do it on a beautiful fall day, who knows, you know?
I'm sorry.
So you're going to take parking spaces away from the Knights of Columbus to put this in, or? No.
I don't think so, I don't think so.
Okay.
no, there's all.
Because you say it's going to be 14,000 square feet. That's,
Yeah, it's kind of going along the edge there. If you look, it has, you know, and forgive me if I'm wrong, it's sort of hugging the property line up in the top there. So it's long, but I don't think it intrudes in any property space, any existing parking spaces, but I'm gonna put that on my punch list for things to report back on.
I think that building I questioned about, I think is the shed for the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah.
So there was actually no parking back there at all. so-
Okay, the parking is over
That's
here.
the parking there, yeah.
There's parking and
And there's
there's
parking,
parking over here.
yeah, and there's parking around the back too, yeah, there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 This here is the shed and the garbage.
oh, okay.
I was just looking at it on Google Earth, and the way you guys are describing it, the location of the parking, is the way it looks right now.
Yeah.
So, you know,
So
I'd like to.
it's almost directly behind the building itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think there is any parking back there.
no, well, there's a little parking, but you can go in to the downstairs back there. But, yeah, so you wanna know what streets you want, viewpoints?
Yeah, where
from?
should we take pictures from, and what's a good day to do, like, you know, float a balloon, or, I think that's part of the, council, am I correct in recalling that a balloon test is required?
Every one that we've had that. Trying to think of the code, it may be required, but
Okay.
even if it's not, they're gonna want it, the public's gonna want it.
Okay, so let's discuss that, let's, if we can lay the foundation for that, if you want to think about that, solicit the input of any staff that's not here, whatever you want, but we'd love to get the ball rolling on that,
And, yeah,
just because of that leaf-on, leaf-off thing that we were talking about.
I mean, definitely from Erie, Monsignor Brady, Private Del Regano, even as far over as Colony, right? I mean,
So you take it from the it's the middle school there, correct?
the middle
From the middle
school,
school, which is going to the west, off of Erie Street, if you go right down Erie.
Should I write these down, or does the board want to, like, give us a summary after you think about it? Neither.
We don't.
well,
I'll
Yeah.
take notes, oh, yeah, all right, so we have from the middle school.
Yeah, and then if you go to the east, you go east of Western Highway to the crest of the hill, because then it drops down, so you figure from there. After that, the area below that drops down dramatically.
And you're saying going to the east of the Western Highway, are we going east of the middle school?
No, you go Western Middle School,
Okay,
you go east the other way.
east of, okay, all right. You had mentioned a street or two.
civic streets, yeah. Monsignor Brady, Private Del Regano, Colony Drive, Erie Street, yeah, West Erie.
West Erie, okay, West Erie Street.
Well, you had that one map that showed the property owner circle.
Mhm.
I'd say go to that, just encompass that.
You really have to go further out.
This
Yeah,
map?
go further
Go a
out,
little
yeah.
bit further out, but at least that'll give you an idea.
I mean,
Okay.
Colony's, right behind there, and Private Del Regno, expanded the street down. So there's a lot of houses right there on Private Del Regno that were just built.
Yeah.
That are gonna
Yeah.
be directly where that's going, yeah.
Those are just to the north of where we're talking about? The just-built ones?
Yeah.
I don't know directions.
They're
Yes.
they're to the west, aren't they?
They're-
New ones.
They're
The
a
new ones to the
little
west.
northwest from there.
Yeah, but Yeah.
West north.
Okay,
I'm like picturing it, yeah.
okay.
Anything else, Mike?
I didn't start yet.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
No, I'm
Lisa-
good, I'm
Lisa,
done.
you finished?
Yeah, no, I'm done, yeah, that's.
Okay, at project review, they discussed moving the tower itself a little more to the center of the property. Was there a rationale why it couldn't be, or has it been thought about? I was at the project review 2 weeks ago, they discussed that.
Yeah, I don't know that we have completed our dialogue with the property owner on that.
Okay, because right now you're looking for 6 variances, and you're very close to the property line.
Yep.
Okay, okay, you're talking about, you talk about in your letter of January 30th, you request doing the balloon test to prepare photo simulations and visual analysis. So that definitely is in progress, will be in progress. Okay. Same letter states that the facility is needed to address significant gaps in service. Usually what we get is a plan that shows, using circles, this is a simple way of doing it, is where you want to put the tower, showing the blackout zones, or the zones where it doesn't, and also showing other Verizon towers that cover the surrounding areas. So if there's a duplicate coverage in an area, or why can't, this way we have an idea, if we can ask, why isn't that tower able to cover that area or whatever, so. But that's usually how it is. If you draw, just the circles
I
overlapping
think I
each
know what
other.
you're talking about, yeah.
Makes
yeah.
it simple for
Coverage
everybody to
maps.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, you already answered, it's gonna be a lithium-ion battery?
We don't know that yet. We're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
find out if it's lithium.
Oh, all right.
lithium ion or.
Okay, if it is, then if there's a fire, what's your suppression for it,
Right, right.
okay? Okay, Plan C2 shows the generator. Is that a backup generator?
It should be a backup generator, yes.
Okay, was it gonna be powered by natural gas?
I think it is gonna be powered by natural gas, but let me.
Okay, because I
confirm
saw
that.
some gas line coming in. Okay, now, with the, even though it has a noise attenuation around it, we'd have to know the dB levels at the property line, and the plan should show that. It should be a sound showing that. and testing. It should be written on the plan. It's been the board's policy. The testing can only be done Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Testing,
For the backup generator.
The generator's gonna test, it'll have a test cycle.
Okay, so a note that the generator can only be tested,
Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
okay.
That makes the surrounding. Okay. You also need a lighting plan showing the light levels surrounding the residences and the property line there.
Okay.
Right. Now, Plan C4, and it shows details of GPS, aviation, special purpose antennas. And then right below it, it says under GPS hyphen TMG hyphen HR hyphen 26N, 26 dB internal amplifier with enhanced narrow band filtering. Now, it says below that specifically designed to support cell site applications with severe interference around the GPS L1 frequency. Now, regarding this, is this used just for cell phones, or is it going to be aviation communications, or does it have anything to do with the high-power electrical lines that pass nearby?
I can look into that. To the best of my knowledge, it's a cell phone tower.
Okay.
So there's gonna be no communication with aviation.
Right.
And it doesn't have anything to do with any high-powered electric lines.
Okay, because that's going by, so I was just wondering, because it talks about, interference and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that high-powered,
Because it's right,
to speculate.
it's right there.
High-powered, high-powered lines have an EMF, right?
Right.
An electromagnetic frequency, which I would imagine can interfere with other electromagnetic, again, this is all electromagnetic frequencies.
Right.
Right? The cell phone tower and the high-power lines. So I think that's just a way of saying that this will function irrespective of any interference from like high-powered lines or anything
Okay.
like that. But I'd be glad to look into
Yeah,
that.
if you could clarify that, because when you go out there, it's, the towers are right next to it.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have the fencing for security around the equipment base and the tower. Are they gonna have signs set up? And I know with some of the towers, we've had that. There's a safe area, in other words, first responders respond, there's a fire, or there's an electrical problem. There's usually an area that they shouldn't cross over due to.
I think we're gonna have all the required FCC, like, emergency and warning signs. that-
Okay.
That are typically compulsory in these.
Right, so we'd like to see that on the plans too.
Okay.
Okay, now, on the north side of the property is a stream, and it's not shown on any of the diagrams. It's a stream that actually runs.
Yeah.
There was water in it today. It looks like that it does run quite higher. Now, we'd like to know if there's a name or a number to that stream.
Is it a drainage ditch or a
To the stream.
Okay.
It's an actual
And
stream.
it's year-round.
Yeah,
Yeah, well.
yeah.
The Clark Rail Trail.
That's the name of the stream?
Well, no, I mean, that area there is,
Yeah, but that's,
right there, it's a Clark Rail Trail. And that's where that stream goes through there.
yeah.
That's
they
not
would-
on our property then, if I'm understanding.
No, but there's a
correct.
reason I'm asking the questions on that. And it's still, you still have to show the elevations around, that should show the elevations, because it is a tremendous drop-off there.
Which elevations would we like to see?
From the property where you're building on to the depth of the stream there. If you take a look, it's gotta be 10, if it's 7 feet from the pad to the property line there, if you go another couple of feet past the property line, you have a drop of at least 10 feet into a stream.
Okay.
It's an actual running stream, okay? We'd like to know and show on the, this is my opinion, I don't know the rest of the board, but how close the tower and communication compound are to the stream bank itself. And the next thing, it's gonna show, now the tower's gonna be structurally supported. What kind of, should show something on how it's being supported and anchored into the ground. It's 125 feet, so I guess there's a base.
It's gonna be a big concrete base.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is with this now, when I asked that for it, There are trees right along the property line that are probably gonna be removed in order to put the base and everything. That's on that north side.
I don't know that that's the case.
There's one tree there that definitely is gonna be, because the tree would be hanging into the thing.
You wanna know the area of disturbance. too,
Right, the area of disturbance there, correct.
Okay.
Now, the question now comes down to, how will the tree removal affect the stream bank and subsequently the tower? Because if that stream runs heavy and the trees are removed, it could cause the bank itself to start to erode. If that erodes, that could affect the base and structural foundation of the tower itself.
Okay.
Okay, and if it is taken into account, we should know how the Verizon is going to reinforce the structure to prevent the erosion, if that's the case. And those are things, has nothing to do with the federal laws on it. This is for the itself, okay? And we should have a landscape plan submitted showing the plantings that will screen residences on the east and north side. Parts of it are screened with trees, but parts of it are not. Okay, and that's all the questions I have, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Oh,
Can I go back and ask one question? Why that location? Like, why there? Was there, is there any alternative spots you could consider putting it?
I think that the answer to that is that's where the significant gap in coverage is in this area. So they put they do a search ring where the gap is, and then they look for available properties. And once they find an available property with a landlord who is willing to engage in a proposal, then that's where they go. But it wouldn't make sense to go on a property that's not going to remedy the significant gap in coverage that they're looking to fill. And the coverage maps that I think that we've been discussing tonight, I think are gonna help clarify that a little bit. Yeah, why they're there. Yeah.
That was a big question, was like how the locations are selected, and then the actual, like, I guess, appearance of the tower. Is there flexibility to make it, I don't know. Different, I don't know, I've seen it look something like that, but is that something you consider?
Let me take that back. I will tell you, I've been doing this for a little while, and a lot of times, people ask for this with the best of intentions, and, I mean, there's one up on the way to Cold Spring, they call it the Frankenpine. And they do the best they can, but because, especially in a community like this, you're looking at it up close, and it doesn't always, I'm not saying these guys can't do a good job if that's, where this goes, but it's a be careful what you wish for kind of thing. You get this, because look, we're all used to looking at utility poles and things like that. We're not used to looking at these giant pipe cleaners. Just something to think about.
There's one on 17 like that.
Yeah.
The base is gonna be 14,000 square feet?
No, that's the fenced area that will include the, so it's a chain link fence around all the equipment. And the way it's presently proposed is enough for a total of 3 carriers. Our equipment is gonna be, a third of that, or thereabouts, roughly.
And the only other question then is like the 150 feet that you're proposing, like, is there a way to justify that? Like, can we make it?
I think we're proposing 125.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I just knocked it down 25 feet.
125, yeah, so not to make it bigger, I don't wanna make it bigger. Like, just to justify why, it's an eyesore to increase, carriers, which is profitable for the installation, but not necessarily for the community.
I mean, the carrier maps, when we see what's going on in there, where the coverage is, and I think once we see that, I think that might, justify it.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying it might.
So your perspective is, hey, why here and why this height?
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Fair.
exactly.
And why the height?
Yep.
Yeah, why,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Matt?
Yeah, and I share a lot of the same concerns already mentioned about why here, why the height. I can attest to the service gap, I drive there every day on work calls, and I lose it right when I get under those power lines, so there is a service gap, but it's a micro service gap, is what I would call it, because I can tell you exactly when that call's gonna go out every time I drive through there, and as soon as I get up by Somes Middle School, it comes right back. So it seems to me that it's not this giant gap in coverage that you gotta solve. Is it possible to solve this with the type of units that they attach to a building? Like we have, like by ShopRite, places like that, where it's like, hey, I don't have to have this giant tower, I'm just gonna attach it to the top of the building somewhere. It's not as obtrusive to the community, I guess, would be.
Any tall buildings in that area, other
Well,
than
put it
two
right on,
stories.
put it right on there.
Yeah.
It's a two-story building, not anything tall. I mean, I'm sure Somes isn't gonna let you put it on there, that would be a solution,
The
but.
problem is it's all line of sight, so if you put it on that building, you got all the woods around it, it's not gonna go anywhere.
But what I'm saying is there's not a gap in coverage everywhere else, anywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we have to see the map.
Yeah.
See where we.
I live over there.
Or
and
if
I-
equipment
Yeah.
is adjacent poles, like if adjacent poles are, and like the equipment on them can be modified and increased to cover like those gaps too. So, you know, if you can identify it and there's other poles or services and they're already established and they just need to have, like, I don't know, amplification or something to them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so based on the, we've been talking a little bit about the federal government's, you know, they put guidelines on radio frequency emissions and the strength of the signal and things like that. And they only propagate so far. But we're glad to discuss that in a little more depth.
Yeah, I guess.
Just so you feel good about, you know, about that. So I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Mr. Carey.
I was just gonna say that the homeowners in the area already have the high power lines right there that was mentioned. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Anybody else have any more? Anything else?
So I just want to clarify with Matt, there is a very bad interruption on Common Road.
Okay.
Come down Common Road. It's pretty bad, I mean, even, over here by school,
I
all
live-
around that area.
I live like a few.
Yeah.
It's always getting off.
Yeah.
Calls,
That's always the way, it's always a whole bunch of your mileage may vary. One person will think, well, I just drop a call here, and another person may think, well, this is terrible, it's not in my backyard, it's nowhere. But that's what the coverage maps, I think, will address. One last thing, so we talked about some potential viewpoints for a visual study. Dates, do you guys have any preference for dates and things like that, or, you know, like what?
We'll do it shortly before the trees start.
So just before the trees bud, okay.
Hopefully on a nice calm day so the balloon doesn't go all
Yeah,
over the place.
no, you sound like you've done one or two of these, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, and I think what Mike had mentioned, a really detailed, plan for like screening, right? Neighbors, if they look up, they can see it, but if they're in their backyard, looking up next to us, they don't want to be able to see.
yeah,
So a landscape plan.
okay. Okay, well, thank you all very much for your time. Is there any other, I'm sorry, you look like you,
For the access road,
yeah,
it's too narrow, it's gotta be widened, and it's in the comments, but it's gotta support 75,000 pound fire truck.
has to be,
You have to open it to the public.
One other thing, maybe crazy idea, but would Knights of Columbus allow you to like expand their facility up, like put a tower in there inside the facility? I don't know if it would look camouflaged at all, but I don't know, maybe. Oh, that's a giant tower that's standing right there. It could be a crazy, silly idea. Yeah, giant American flag, there you go. I like that.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Does this have to go to zoning?
Power there, and they go to 145 feet, so there had to be a study. So there has to be a reason, not because they want to be a nice guy or an SOB.
Well, because they want money, because they want to put it out there, and they want other people to add their towers to it, so that they can get money out of it. That's not just coverage, it's also just money.
Well, then,
Yeah.
well, I was asking if it has to go to zoning, ZBA. Yes?
They got a lot of.
It's just for the height alone.
Yeah.
right?
Public, you know.
We do.
Public, I open it to the public.
Motion to open public portion?
Okay, second, all in favor? Aye. Yes, sir. State your name and address.
I just want to say, don't know fellow gentlemen. I use Verizon, terrible service in that area. I think it's a good project.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for your comments.
Motion to close the public portion.
Second,
All in favor, aye. Opposed, none. Hey, you know, think about it, you have a cell phone up to your head, and you lose connection to a tower, guess what? The power that's coming out of that tower is the same thing coming out of your cell phone.
who puts it through your ear?
Well, the power coming out of your cell phone is vastly greater than the power coming out of the tower in terms of the impacts, you know, what you experience, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
these hand-free phones go up.
Yeah.
That's why when people say, how much, what's the emission in the tower?
Yeah.
What's the emissions coming out of the pocket?
Yeah, this phone you're keeping next to your bed, yeah, very true. So when do I see you next? Or does it depend on after we submit our responses? Okay, we got some work to do, okay.
Go to the building department for delivery,
Okay.
and Rick, to tell you, this list of items that you have.
Okay, yeah, we don't even have a submission yet.
You
Yeah.
just submit the plans and the other information. Then you have scheduled the project review, and if you're gonna be right, the student study you have in the first meeting.
That sounds great, okay.
Can I have a motion to, no, we have other business.
I'm good, okay, thank you all for your time today, thank you.
The only other thing we have is a proposed special permit for 9 Lawrence Street, Nyack. It's Nyack, why don't
This
we
refer
vote
to
for
local
determination?
determination, motion to refer to local determination.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Yeah, minutes.
You got minutes?
February 25th, 2026.
Motion to approve the February 25th, I think, minutes as corrected. Second. You want a second?
Andy did.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.